So reading Srimad Bhagavatam 436. Kasi sunna kanaka varna vibhusanena Raja kapola vadano vilasat kiritaha Astya yudhai anucharai munibhi surendrai Asevito garuda kinara kita kiriti Kasi suna, shining, kanaka, gold, varna, color, vibhusanena, ornament, rajan, shining, kapola, forehead, vadanaha, his face, vilasat, dazzling, kiritaha, his helmet, ashta, 8, ayudai, weapons, anucharai, by followers, munivi, by great sages, surendrai, by demigods, asevitaha, served, Garuda, by Garuda, Kinara, inhabitant of the Kinara planet, Gita, sun, Tiritahi, his glories. Translation: the Lord's face. Remember the right verse? 6, right? Huh? The Lord's face was very beautiful and his head was decorated with shining helmet and golden ornament. The helmet was dazzling and was very beautifully situated in his head. The Lord had 8 arms which each held at a particular weapon. The Lord was surrounded by demigods, great sages and other associates. These were all engaged in his service. Garuda, the carrier of the Lord, glorified the Lord Jai Shri Radha with Vedic hymns by flapping his wings. Garuda appeared to be an inhabitant of the planet known as Kinnaraloka. Please repeat. The Lord's face was very beautiful and his head was decorated with a shining helmet and golden ornament. The helmet was dazzling and was very beautifully situated on his head. The Lord had 8 arms with each held a particular weapon. The Lord was surrounded by demigods, great sages and other associates. These were all engaged in his service. Garuda, the carrier of the Lord, glorified the Lord with Vedic hymns by flapping his wings. Garuda appeared to be an inhabitant of the planet known as Kinnaraloka. Purport. Generally, the Vishnu form is manifested with 4 hands, holding 4 objects: a conch shell, disc, club, lotus flower. However, here Lord Vishnu is described as possessing 8 arms with 8 kinds of weapons. According to Veera, Raghava Acharya, the conch shell and lotus flower are also accepted as weapons. Since the Lord is the supreme controller, whatever is in his hand can be considered a weapon. 4 hands hold 4 kinds of weapon, and the extra 4 hands hold an arrow, bow, trident and a snake. Sri Veeraraghava Acharya described the 8 weapons as Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, Sharanga, Sara, etc. A king is always accompanied by his ministers, secretaries and commanders, and Lord Vishnu is also accompanied by his followers, the demigod, great sages, saintly person and so on. He is never alone. Consequently, there is no question of the Lord being impersonal. is always himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his associates are also persons from the description given in this verse. Garuda appears to belong to the Kinnara planet. The inhabitants of the Kinnara planet have the same features as Garuda. Their bodily features are like those of human beings, but they have wings. The word Gita Kirti indicates that inhabitants of Kinnara Loka are expert, very expert in singing the glories of the Lord. The Brahma Samhita it is said, Jagadanta Koti Koti Swasesu Visudhadi Vibhuti Bhinam. In each and every universe there are different types of planets, and each planet has distinctive features. On the strength of this verse we can understand that in the Kinnara Loka the inhabitants can fly with their wings. There is also a planet known as Siddhaloka where the inhabitants can fly even without wings. Thus, each and every planet has some distinctive facility. This is the beauty of the various creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanam Jnana Shilakaya Chakshudan Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Sarpitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamam Dadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Shadvitam Shabadudam Harijanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Saganvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatsate Gopishya Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchna Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hare Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashyantya Resatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you very much for coming on board this Srimad Bhagavatam class today. So here the very, what we say, what I say is this word, convincing, I think the convincing word in this verse is that the Lord has a personal form. See, there are many schools who are doubting this, the personality of Godhead. They very much declare that God is definitely cannot have a form. Yes, practically 99% of the so-called philosophical schools are all propagating this This Nirvishesha. Sunyavad and Nirvishesha. Okay? Just by this one stroke, by the appearance of the Lord, all the schools are nullified. Is this point here? Correct? This question was challenged also in the Bhagavad Gita. Which is better? Worship your personal form or impersonal form? Yes? Correct? See, there's two schools. The impersonalist and the personalist. Right? And most of these Sankarites, followers of Lord Shiva, Sankaracharya, all of them, they say what? God has no. See here, the Lord's face was very beautiful. and his head, not his face, he has head. Right? There were golden ornaments, helmets, ornament. Helmet was dazzling, beautifully situated on his head. Yeah? He had 8 arms, not only no arm. They say what? There's no arm, no leg, no head, no tail. Look at that. Here he is not one arm, he has 8. See? And each has a particular weapon. Yeah, the 8 weapons on his head. Correct? And the Lord was surrounded by demigods, great sages and other associates. They were all engaged in his service. Doesn't look like it's impersonal, right? Does it sound impersonal? Does it sound impersonal? Yeah? So try to understand how the God, the Lord is so pleasing. In fact, in the Brahma Samhita, even Brahma, after he, meditated for a long time, he saw the Lord. I showed the verse last week, right? The Lord shook hands with him. Yes? When I was giving the other class. Yes? What verse was that? He shook his hand. 2, 9, 16 or 17, is it? Huh? So he shook hands. The Lord was so pleased. He shook hands. He appeared, huh? 16? 19, huh? See? You can see here how the Lord is so personal. It's not that he just appears, he's so personal, is it? And seeing Brahma present before him, the Lord accepted him as worthy to create living being, to be controlled as he desired, and thus being much satisfied with him, the Lord shook hands with Brahma. See here. And slightly smiled, addressed him thus. See how the Lord, does it sound that he is an impersonal person? This is theory that God is impersonal, is completely bogus. Right? Even in the Brahma Samhita, it is Lord Brahma, after Shaki, he described Venam Kavandam Ravinda Ladayudakhyam Barahavantam Samasidam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Gamaniya Visesu Sobam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhaja. He's got a flute, it's so beautiful, he's a peacock feather, his color is of a dark, everything is described. So why these people are hopping on this impersonal thing? They are considered as what? What? What are they considered? See how Brahma is talking about them. And this is the verse, no? How is it Brahma is talking about these guys? As impersonal is, this verse is also quoted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You know? This verse is quoted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was talking. This present form or any transcendental form expanded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is equally auspicious for all the universes. Since you have manifested this eternal personal form upon whom your devotees meditate, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you. Those who are destined to be dispatched to the path of hell, see that? Neglect your personal form because of speculating on material topics. See the point here? So people who neglect the form, they are supposed to go where? This is spoken by Lord Brahma. See, you manifest this form, it's so beautiful. The devotees are meditating, correct? The tears is coming out. They are in shock when they see, when Guru Maharaj, he saw the form of the Lord. What did he say? I am fully satisfied. I don't want anything anymore, correct? You know, right? Yeah? I don't want nothing anymore. I am okay, now finish. No, take something. No, I don't. So how beautiful the form of the Lord is. And here these guys are saying God has no form. What kind of brain they have? You see, Brahma is even condemning them. Those who are destined to be dispatched to the path of hell neglect your personal form because of speculating on material topics. So these mental speculators, asat prasangi, the word is used here in Sanskrit. This asat prasangi, people who talk too much. People who speculate, talk too much, this rascal. They say this nonsense. That's why the real position for them is what? And in the Ishopanishad also the verse is there, no? What is the verse? 12, is it? Andam Tamisra. Andam what? Why is he going so slow, this thing? What is happening in this computer? Moving fast, huh? This is a new one, no? 12, no?
ISO 12, ISO space 12.
Huh?
Users for ISO space 12.
ISO? I usually put ISO 12. I go right there. Yeah. Bhagavad Gita. Mantra 12, yeah. Moving slow, you know. I think there's something we have to... There are so many... Why? Andam, you see, andam tamaha pravishyanti. Andam means what? Darkness. Andam means darkness. Tamaha means ignorance. Pravishyanti means going. Correct? Ye sambhute mupashate tato bhuyaye te tamo ya u sambhutyam rataha. Those who engage in the worship of demigods enter into darkest region of ignorance. And still more so do the worshippers of the impersonal absolute. See here? Yeah? Correct? So you see how detrimental it is, this is Mayavad. This Mayavad. Very dangerous. Those who are Mayavad, they are Krishnare Aparadi. You understand? These Mayavadis who say God has no form, even if they chant Hare Krishna, they cannot go home back to God. I mean, I showed this last week, right? The verse. Yes? See how offensive they are. And the Lord is coming, He is showing His so beautiful form. Devotees are becoming so much enthralled just by looking at Him. In fact, the devotees are so absorbed in seeing Him that they cannot even tolerate the blinking of the eyes. Yes, He is so beautiful, He is so captivating. They cannot even tolerate that moment of what? Blinking of the eyes. See how beautiful He is. That's why He is called Krishna, all attractive. And here they are saying He has got no. Actually, this light that is coming from Him, Yasya Prabha, the light that is coming from Him is Yasya Prabha. Prabhavato Jagananda Koti. This light is lighting up all the universes. Correct? It is just one small portion of the whole creation. And the whole creation is 3/4. That is one small portion. All the light, they are lighting up all. And because of that light, the sun is getting the power to create, give life. You all know. Because of the sunlight only everything is living. Yes? Without sunlight, nothing can work. Because the sugar, the plant, everything is producing what? Food. Yes or not? I'm sure you studied photosynthesis, they say, right? Yes? They go only up to that. Photosynthesis. Who is synthesized? That is. Maunamrita. No, we don't know. Material nature. What? That's all they teach us in the school. You see how dangerous these guys are? They give only what? Half the story. So whose slide it is? That one cannot explain. This is what? They say what? Nobody knows. Yes? Like here, Krishna is saying, Brahma is saying, this light, Yasha, what is the word? Yasha Prabha? Huh? 30 is it? 40, huh? See, 540. The thing is going so slow. I don't know why it is. Maybe I should clean it up or something. There's some kind of. I need to do that. It's so easy. Yasha prabha prabhavato jagaranda koti koti svasesa vasudhadi vibhuti vinam tatrama niskalam ananta asesa bhutam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Yasha, of whom prabha, the effulgence, the effulgence of the Lord, is it? I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is effulgent, the source of the non-differentiated Brahman mentioned in the Upanishad, being differentiated from the infinity of glories of the mundane universe, appears as the indivisible, infinite, limitless truth. Hare Krishna. How Bhaktisiddhanta is writing this. Do you understand? Coming from which year? See, our year and his year. See, how much is Brahman mentioned in the Upanishad been differentiated from the infinity of glories of the mundane universe appear as indivisible, infinite, limitless and true. I think you get confused by the whole thing. Okay? Actually, he is saying that all this light that is coming from the Lord is lighting up innumerable universes. Yes, and the universes are also different. It's not that vibhuti bhinam, different, just like Prabhupada explained, correct? Some planet, all people have got wings to fly, some people got no wings, right? Some planet, they have ability to sing very well, Gandharvas, different, so many different planets. Understand? And yet here we are thinking we are the best. Everything is made of plastic and metal and can crash also, correct? Yes? You see that? We are just so much, self-centered and so much in illusion, we don't know all the glories of the Lord. Okay? So, but the light of the Lord is so much, His light is effulgent. As I many times said, the sky is blue color. Why is it blue color? Because the bodily light of Krishna is blue. Krishna's body is what color? Blue. So the light that comes out of his body is blue color. That's why you see the sky is all blue color. Why is not red? Why is not pink? Why not purple? Yes? Why? You cannot explain this. So therefore the light that is coming from Krishna's body, what color is it? His body is blue color. What color he comes out? Technicolor. What color? Blue color. So the light is all over. So try to understand this simple logic. The Lord is so beautiful. So he is exhibiting his form. And he came to see the Prasetas. 8 hands, beautiful face, so much beautiful. Yeah. And not that he just comes, he comes with all his entourage. Is what? Demigods coming, the what? Energies are coming, is it? And the Lord, his weapons are also coming. One time I was talking to one guy, this guy is from the Ravi Shankar group, He was telling me, he said, you people, you always like to make everything personal. I don't know. Everything we make personal. Actually, God is impersonal. So what he was talking about? He's a follower of this guy. I said, what are you saying? The Lord is very personal. How you can say we are making him personal? He is personal. And not only is personal, everything about him is personal. His energies are standing to serve him, personal. His, weapons are personal. Everything about God is personal. You see? So the impersonal, this is their problem. They try to negate the personality of God. You understand? Why? Because when you say impersonal, then they can become one with him. Their whole idea is to become God. You understand? Nonsense. We ask you to become God and show your universal form, and tomorrow you will quit. Correct? Can you do? You cannot do. That's why the Lord is so smart in the Bhagavad Gita. He challenged, Arjuna challenged him. He made Arjuna challenge him. Okay, you ask me this thing, you show me my universal form. Why Krishna particularly asked him to do that? Because all these guys, rascals, parading as God. Parading as everybody in India, so many gods are there. Millions. Yeah? See? So Krishna said, you ask me the universal. And then how Krishna did it? Alright, I will show you. But you cannot see with these eyes. That means if you are seeing God, something is wrong somewhere. Yes? You cannot see me with these present eyes, not possible. But don't worry, I will give you divine eyes. Again, see how Krishna, understand? And he gave Arjuna divine eyes. That verse is there, right? 11 verse? Yeah? 11:8. See, 11:8, the Lord showed him. You can see here, I therefore give you divine vision. The Sanskrit, you see here. Natumam shakshehe dristum aneneva swa chakshusaha. You cannot see me with your swa eyes. Divyam dadami te chakshusa. Divyam dadami te chakshusa. This Sanskrit is Pashyame yoga aishwaryam. See that? You cannot see me. You cannot see me with but you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore I give you divine eyes, behold my mystic opulence. So you see, this is the characteristic of God. If you want to see God, you cannot behold him with this material eyes. It is not possible. And the Lord is kind enough to give Arjuna even divine, although the Lord is standing with Arjuna all day, night, here. So why the Lord is speaking like this? So tell us, all these rascals will come and parade as God. Huh? Yes? And they will declare, I am God. And in India now, I tell you, so many guys are going after some Baba. Yes? So everybody, I'm worshipping so and Baba. How you come to this conclusion? Because there is no knowledge. So here Krishna is showing. Then Krishna showed his universal form, thousands and millions of suns coming on. I mean, one sun already you cannot see. Right? You can see the sun. So go blind. Just one sun. Thousands and millions of suns, how? Right? Not only that, everything, demigod, every A to Z of everything was shown to. So fearful, he became frightened. That is another thing. He became what? Frightened. I don't want to see, I don't want to see this. So you see how the Lord is exhibited this thing. So to correct all this so-called what? Crazy avatars that are coming on. So you should know. Otherwise you will be fooled, be cheated. See? And the Lord is not just alone. The Lord has got so many energies. You got so many energies. You see here, in the beginning of the creation, the Lord expanded Himself in the form of Purusha incarnation, accompanied by all the ingredients of material creation. First, He created the 16 principal energies suitable for creation. This was for the purpose of manifesting the material universes. Purpose. This verse is from the Srimad Bhagavatam 131. The commentary of Madhava on Srimad Bhagavatam mentioned that the following 16 spiritual energies are present in the spiritual world. Sri, Bhu, Leela, Kanti, Kriti, Tusti, Gir, Pusti, Satya, Jnana Ajnana, Jaya, Utkarshini, Vimala, Hare Krishna. Vimala, Yogamaya, Prahavi, Isana, Anugraha. See, all these energies are present. You understand? All these are what? Energies of the Lord. In his commentary on the Laghu Bhagavata Amrita, Sri Baladev Vidyabhusana has said that the above energies are also known by 9 names. Vimala, Utkarshini, Jnana, Kriya, Yoga, Prahavi, Satya, Isana, Anugraha. In the Bhagavad Sandarbha of Srila Jiva Goswami, they are described as Sri, Pusti, Gir, Kanti, Kirti, Tusti, Ila, Jaya, Vidya, Avidya, Maya, Samvid, Samdini, Haladini, Bhakti, Murti, Vimala, Yoga, Prabhavi, Isana, Anugraha, etc. All these energies act in different spheres of the Lord's supremacy. So when the Lord comes, all these energies also come with Him. It's not that He comes, just like with someone, like you travel with one little handphone. Yeah? Correct? See how the Lord is not some ordinary personality, Again here, Lord Brahma saw in the Vaikuntha planet the personality of Godhead who is the Lord of the entire devotee community, Jai Sri Radha, the Lord of Goddess of Fortune, the Lord of Sacrifice, the Lord of Universe, who is served by the foremost servitors like Nanda, Sunanda, Pralabha, Arhana, his immediate associates. See, the Lord is served by so many associates. Brahma saw this. It is not some speculation. Brahma saw it. When we speak of a king, it is naturally understood that the king is accompanied by his confidential associate, like his secretary, private secretary, aide-de-camp, ministers, advisors. So also when his Lord, we see him with his different energies, associate, confidential servitors. So the Supreme Lord, who is the leader of all living entities, the Lord of all devotees' sect, the Lord of all opulence, the Lord of sacrifice, and the enjoyer of everything in his entire creation, is not only the Supreme Person, but is also surrounded by his immediate associates, all engaged in their loving, transcendental service to him. So the Lord is not just like one person, what? Somebody who is just alone. No. He is always accompanied by all. This is seen by who? Lord Brahma. When Lord Brahma became successful after his tapasya, when before the Lord shook his hand, the Lord showed him the whole spiritual world. You understand? You see here? The Lord showed him everything. I think it starts from what? 10 or what? Is it? The Lord showing the spiritual world starts from? Here. After he became successful in his austerity, tapasya, in that personal abode of the Lord, the material mode of ignorance and passion do not prevail, nor is there any of their influence in goodness. There is no predominance of the influence of time. So what to speak of the illusory external energy? It cannot enter that region. Without discrimination, both the demigod and demon worship the Lord as devotees there. This is the spiritual world. Some glimpse, There's no demon, there are no devotees. Demigod, they are all devotees. You see? There's a spiritual world. He saw, Brahma saw. So then he also saw, the inhabitants of Vaikuntha planet are described as having a glowing sky bluish complexion. Again, that sky bluish complexion, is it? Completely confirms the light that's coming from the body, correct? Is it? Their eyes resemble lotus flowers, their dress is of yellowish color, and their bodily features are very attractive. They are just the age of growing youth. Old men there. And they all have 4 hands. They are nicely decorated with pearl necklace, with ornamental medallions, and they all appear to be effulgent. See again, all of them effulgent. See? This is what Brahma is from here is seeing this. Krishna is showing him the spiritual world. See? Some of them are effulgent like coral and diamonds in complexion and have garlands on their heads, blooming like lotus flowers, and some wear earrings. See, description of the residents of spiritual world. Now we are hearing about the Lord. Those who accompany Him, they are also equally. The Vaikuntha planets are also surrounded by various airplanes, all glowing and brilliantly situated. These airplanes belong to the great Mahatmas or devotees of the Lord. The ladies are as beautiful as lightning because of their celestial complexion, and all these combined together appear just like sky decorated with both clouds and lightning. See, the description is giving how transcendental the place is. They also got aeroplanes. No, what we say, visa control. Yes. The goddess of fortune in a transitional form is engaged in loving service to the Lord's lotus feet and being moved by the black beast followers of spring. She is not only engaged in variegated pleasure, service to the Lord, along with her constant companion, but is also engaged in singing the glories of the Lord's activities. Exactly what the Lord is, even what Garuda is doing. Garuda is what? Flapping his wings, and Vedic mantras are coming out. Just by him, what? Flapping his wings. Try to understand. We are all thinking that this is it, We are thinking what? This material world is heaven. But you see how the description, how much more far out the whole spiritual world is. Not only the spiritual world, even the so-called what? Material world. Kinnaras who can fly and there is a difference within this. Prabhupada is explaining here. All these different personalities in this material world. We don't speak about the spiritual world. O King, know from me that all living entities are created by the Supreme Lord according to their past deeds. The living entities include Brahma and his sons like Daksha, the periodical heads like Vaivasta, Manu, the demigods like Indra, Chandra, and Varuna, the great sages like Bhrigu, Vyasa, Vasistha, the inhabitants of Pitraloka, Siddhaloka, the Charanas, Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Asuras, Yakshas, Kinnaras, and angels, the serpent, the monkey-shaped Kim Purushas, the human beings, the inhabitants of Matraloka, the demons, Pisacha, ghosts, spirits, lunatics, evil spirits, the good and evil stars, the goblins, the animals in the forest, the birds, the household animals, the reptiles, the mountains, the moving and standing living entities, the living entities born from embryo, from eggs, from perspiration and from seed, all others, whether they be in the water, on land, on the sky, in happiness, in distress, or in mixed happiness and distress. All of them, according to their past deeds, are created by the Supreme Lord. Yes? Nothing is amiss. Understand? This is only the material world. I just want to show you something here, just so you get some idea. In this verse, actually, I should go back to it. I think I should go back. Here, we'll read the purport a bit. The varieties of living entities are mentioned in this list, and with no exception from the topmost planet down to the lowest planet of the universe, all of them and different species of life were created by the Almighty Father Vishnu. Therefore, no one is independent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita 14.4, the Lord therefore claims all living entities as his offspring in the following words. Sarvayonishu kaunteya nuttaya sambhavantiya asham brahma mahajoni aham bija pradapita. The material nature is compared to the mother. Although every living being is seen to come out of the mother's body, it is still a fact that the mother is not the ultimate cause of such a birth. The father is the ultimate cause of birth. Without the father's seed, no mother can give birth to a child. Therefore, the living beings in different varieties of form and position with innumerable universe are all born of the seeds of the Almighty Father, the personality of Godhead, and only to the man with profound knowledge do they appear to be born of the material nature. When under the material energy of the Supreme Lord, all living entities begin from Brahma down to the insignificant and are manifested in different bodies according to their past deeds. The material nature is one of the energies of the Lord. The material nature is inferior in comparison to the living entities, the superior nature. The superior nature and inferior nature of the Lord combine to manifest all universal effects. Some of the living entities are relatively happy in better condition of life, whereas others are in distressing condition of life. But factually, no one of them are factually happy in the material condition of life. No one can be happy in prison life, although one may be a first-class prisoner and another third-class prisoner. The intelligent person should not try to promote it from third-class prison life to first-class prison, but should try to release from the prison altogether. One may be promoted to first-class prisoner, but the same first-class prisoner may again be degraded to third-class prisoner. Next term, one should try to free from prison life and go back home, back to Godhead. This is the real goal of types of living entities. Actually, I wanted to show you one thing. I will show you here. I thought it was here. Here. From the forefathers, headed by Bhrigu Muni and other sons of Brahma, appeared many children, descendants who assumed different forms as demigod, demon, human being, Guyaka, Siddha, Gandharva, Vidyadhara, Charana, Kindeva, Kinara, Nagas, King Purusha, and so on. All of the many universal species, along with its respective leaders, appear with different natures and desires generated from three-mortal nature. Therefore, because of the different characteristics of the living entity within the universe, there are great many Vedic rituals, mantras and reborn. If one is curious why Vedic literature recommends so many different methods of worship at Mantra, the answer is given here. Bhrigu, Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulatsya, Pulaha, Kratu are the 7 great Brahmana sages and forefathers of this universe. The kin devas are a race of human beings who are like the demigod, completely free from fatigue, sweat and body odor. That's why they call king deva. What kind of a god are they? They're not demigod. They are almost like the demigod. See? So that means demigod also don't have sweating, don't have fatigue, don't have body odor. Yeah? Seeing them, one may thus ask, Kim Deva, are they demigods? Actually, they are human beings living on another planet within the universe. The Kinnaras are so called because they are Kinchin Naraha, or little like human beings. The Kinnaras have either a human head or human body, but not both. So Garuda, he had the body of a bird, but it doesn't, maybe head of a human being, or head of an animal, body of a man, like the King Purushas, right? Combined with a non-human form, but not both. Combined. The King Purushas are so called because they resemble human beings, and thus prompt the question of King Purusha, are these human beings? Actually, they are a race of monkeys or almost like human beings. Is it? So there are 3 different: King Deva, King Naraha and King Purusha. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explained that this verse describes the varieties of forgetfulness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The different Vedic mantras and rituals are especially meant for the different species of intelligent beings throughout the universe, but this proliferation of Vedic formula indicates only the variety of material illusion and not the variety of ultimate purpose. ultimate purpose of the many Vedic injunctions is one, to know and love the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Himself is emphatically explaining this to Uddhava. So the point here we're trying to stress is that Garuda, he comes from this Kinnara planet, and they can fly, you know. If you go to the 5th canto, you'll see, I think chapter 17, 16, you can see the prayers of different planets, you know. And each one are praying to certain expansion of the Lord. Some to Aniruddha, some to the Pradyumna, you know, like that, different. You can read about it if you go there. So here you can see Garuda is carrying the Lord and is coming to see the Prasetas. You understand? And not just that carrying only. And he is vibrating Vedic mantras to pleasure of the Lord. So the Lord, when he travels, there is not just silence, you know, there is, you know, chanting of Vedic mantras, so many people are around him, you know, it's like a whole entourage. You know, it comes, that's why sometimes you see the word, he is what? What is the word? It is a festival, what do you call that? Utsava, Akhanda Utsava. The Lord is always travelling, Akhanda Utsava, all the time there is a moment of festival all the time. Very festive, you know. So many things happening. You understand? The colour, the you know, the different personalities, and all of them are glorifying the Lord, you know. You see how very transcendental the mood the Lord came. And he exhibited that, and he spoke to the Prasetas. Also spoke to Brahma, he spoke to so many people. So the Lord is not definitely an impersonal personality that you can subscribe to. So those people who think that God is impersonal, they are actually living in the clouds. Because the Lord is not very pleased with this impersonalists. You know, that's why he said, those who are ku-yogis, I think we covered that verse in the last class, you know, that he is not very happy with people who think or practice austerity for the impersonal aspect or to get material benefit. He doesn't like that. He wants everyone to do austerity for his pleasure. Yeah? So try to understand, God consciousness is, you know, mainly as Bhaktisiddhanta is for us to love him. For us to what? Love him. And he has very kind of variegatedness. It's not something, you know, lightweight personality. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Now we just heard about how he created the material. Now for the spiritual world, that's beyond our, you know, our comprehension. In fact, there's a verse, it says that 3/4 of the spiritual world is beyond our understanding. So I am only to talk about the 1/4 to you. That's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying that to Sanatana Goswami. It's beyond our comprehension. I am going to just limit our talk only to the 1/4 now. So can you imagine how this whole material world is in? You cannot figure it out. It's such a big thing. But it is all coming under the purview of the Supreme Personality. That's why Krishna says in 10:42, is it? What is the use of all this detailed knowledge, Arjuna? They spring from a spark of my splendor. What is that? 10:42? 10:42, huh? Yes, it says here. Ekam sena sthito jagat. Ateva bahunaitena kim gyantena tavarjuna vistavyamidam krishnam ekam sena sthito jagat. You see that? What need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I prevail and support the entire universe. I mean, single fraction. That's why he also did that. He showed his mother when you opened the mouth, what she saw. What is it? I think 2 times he showed in the mouth, Was it 2 times? I'm sure one time was there, he had dirt and opened the mouth and he showed everything inside. And she was stunned. She was what? I'm calling this boy my son. How is it possible? They are the power of Krishna. You understand? Not only that, when Akrura went to collect him, he asked him to take bath in the Yamuna. And they were sitting on the chair. And in that, while he is taking bath, he showed everything. Yeah, Krishna. And after that he came, did you see anything wonderful inside? So try to understand here, we are not just loving Krishna. Krishna is what? Isvaraha Paramaha Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. The Supreme Personality of God. And when it descends, God. So, this is what we have to surrender. When we understand this, then our only thing is to surrender. What else you want to do? Because then they may ask the question, but Prabhu, I am chanting, why the Lord not appearing? You have to qualify, no? Actually, our whole philosophy is not to see the Lord. That's not our philosophy is to work in such a way that the Lord wants to see us. Our whole mood is the mood of separation. Where are you, my Lord? When are you coming? When I can again see your beautiful form? The devotees, they, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, philosophy, to love the Lord in separation. And always yankering for Him will always purify us more and develop our love in a more strengthened manner, crying to the Lord, when will you come? Even Madhavendra Puri, he passed away, things they say, what is that verse? He is passing away and chanting this verse. Can you get that verse for me? I think it is in Madhya 8.
4 or 197.
4. I think also Madhya,
4 or 197.
197, What is it? Madhya, Antya? Yeah, you see this verse is so, this is how he is praying. He passed away chanting this verse. Ai Dina Dayadara Nata He Mathura Nath Kada Avalokyasi Hridayam Tvat Alokam Kataram Daitya Brahmyati Kim Akaromi Aham. Very important verse. Oh my Lord, O most merciful Master, O Master of Mathura, when shall I see you again? See the word? When shall I see you again? Because of my not seeing you, my agitated heart has become unsteady. O most beloved, what shall I do now? See this word? Understand? You never say, I'm seeing you, I'm very happy, no. This is our line. Our line is always crying in separation. This is how Madhavendra Puri left the body. He left that's why when he was crying like this, what's his name? Ramachandra Puri went and chastised him. Why are you crying? You should meditate on Brahman now, because you're going to leave your body. And he said, please don't show me your face anymore. I don't want to see you anymore. If a spiritual master say like that to you, that I don't want to see your face, what credit you got, correct? Yeah, finished spiritually. Alright, I think I covered everything in this line. Is there anything I missed out?
The Lord Chaitanya also Sango Pangas Prapashanam.
Sango?
Angopangasta Parshadam.
Krishna Varna Vishwa Krishna Sankapam.
Oh, that was Krishna Varnam. Yeah. What about it?
He is with his associates.
I come with his associates. Krishna also come, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his associates.
Right.
Krishna also says in the Bhagavatam beginning that I want to come, I want all the demigods to all come to take, birth, so they can help in the pastimes. Yes? All the demigods came, so many people came. So the Lord is always, with all his loving devotees. The Lord is never alone. As one point I explained before, when you meditate about the Lord in the heart alone, that is called Vasudeva realization. When you meditate on the Lord as Vasudeva, that means he is alone, without his internal potencies. You follow? But when you meditate on the Lord as Radha and Krishna and all, that means his internal potency, and that meditation is not Vasudeva, it is another thing. Different. There's a verse on that also, I think I showed some. So one more point that I make before I wrap up is this verse here, that even so-called this verse, Bhakti yogena manasi samyak pranihite male apasya purusham purnam mayam chatat pasrayam. See that? Even, this is seen by Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva Swati. It says here, thus he fixes mind, perfectly engaging it by linking it in devotional service, bhakti yoga, without any thin of materialism. And thus he saw the absolute personality of Godhead along with his external energy which was under full control. Again, he also saw Maya. Then we thought that maybe we missed out Maya, but Maya is also which was fully under his control. You understand? So nothing is missed out. Of course, she is under the control of Lord Shiva. The Lord Shiva is, engaging her. But the point is that he saw the Lord and he saw Maya. Not in front, he is actually behind. And fully under the Lord's. Okay? So the devotees are with him, all his energies are with him, the demigods are with him, everything is with him. Nothing can be separated from the. But devotees have to see this whole thing. Otherwise we don't understand what is it. Alright, we'll stop here then. Thank you very much.
The Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur said we should not try to see God, but act in such a way that God wants to see us. But what activity can sufficiently attract the attention of the Lord? Because how much ever we serve is not enough.
Actually, this point is that you cannot please Krishna by your own accord. That's not possible. If you try to do that, you will fail. You see the point that Krishna spoke to Manigriva and Alakvara. Yeah. It's because of Narada, my devotee, has said that I will have to deliver you, therefore I am doing it. But I have no business with you. You understand this point? Similarly, we have no business with Krishna. Because Krishna is transcendental, he is above the modes of, we are conditioned. How we can go and serve? No possible. That's why Prabhupada said our temple now we are serving Radha and Krishna. No, Radha and Krishna, serving Lakshmi Narayana. But the real thing is that our only contention of anything positive is our service to our spiritual master. If we try to neglect that, then everything. What is that? Yasha prasada bhagavat. Yasha aprasada. Then everything is useless. You displease the spiritual master, everything is useless. So we must understand this point. Our whole life is hanging on the pleasure of our spiritual master. And when we don't have spiritual master, then we cannot go to Krishna. It's not possible. It's not possible. And if you think you are serving Krishna, then it's some kind of mental speculation. I have many people coming. No, I'm talking to him. Yeah, I treat him like my brother. I mean, yeah, it's nice sentiment. Krishna is not some kind of a fool. That's why I say, anyone who says my devotee is not my devotee. But anyone who says devotee of my devotee, Adipura, right? Is my devotee. You understand? Therefore, we have to understand this thing. You cannot go to Krishna without the help of his devotee. And for us, our only link is our spiritual master. Then yes, if you do so much to him, then Krishna, by the mercy of the spiritual master, he appreciates. You understand? If you don't want to do that, then forget it. You can try, you can bring the abhishek with nectar, honey, whatever ghee, and do all kind of things. I had one case of the lady coming home, every day I bathe him with nectar, and then after some time you want to donate the deity back. I think I did not. I mean, I've seen this, I'm in this line, for now, so many years now. I've seen all kind of things. Yeah, very nice. I encourage you. But this sentiment won't last anymore. Without the help of a guru, you cannot make spiritual advance. The word is cannot. Don't forget it. It's not that you can have some private please. The Lord is not interested. You understand? You can try. Sentiment can carry on. Tears are coming, Prabhu. When I go in front of Krishna, tears are running down. And after a few days, no more here. Where did you go? I have seen. They come and talking and crying to Krishna. After that, where? No more around. You understand? Spiritual life is not just some crying. It is what? Surrendering to the spiritual master and getting kicked by him. That's another thing I didn't say. Getting what? Kicked by, not loving, kicked. That is spiritual life. How much you are surrendered to the desire of the Guru. That you have to see. You want to live on your comfort zone, have all your facilities and then chant Hare Krishna and think. You can carry on. But the one who surrenders his life, that's what Prabhupada is saying. Oh, you're surrendering to help my mission? Yes. Everybody wants to be happy. Oh, I've got my nice salary, my nice wife, my nice everything. Yeah, Prabhu, I'm surrendering. Nice. But you think that is surrendering? Surrendering means that's it, I don't know what will happen tomorrow. I don't know, I don't care. I am surrendered, you help serve me. That's the good. There's Arjuna, he is going to fight. He will live or he will die. Yes? Surrender. And what is Nasta Moham Smriti Laptva? Right? I am surrendered now. You do what you want to do with me. That point you have to come to. Understand? Because everybody wants to be comfortable, right? But the risk takers, that is the final line. You're taking risk. Whether Krishna will save you or Krishna will not accept you, we don't know. Correct? Yes, but I don't care. My spiritual master has ordered me, just like Prabhupada. He was ordered. Correct? He took the risk. Yes, took the ship. I mean, he could have done, finished. Yes, that is what makes the difference. And that is what Krishna wants to see. And there's a saying, right? Nothing risk, nothing gain, right? Huh? No pain, no gain. So we have to learn how to understand that. This is the thing. It is not going to Krishna, forget it, I mean, yeah, I'm encouraging you, come here, do service and all that. But it's only under the purview of the spiritual master. You can see in our movement, we wake up, we chant what prayer? What prayer we chant? Samsara is whose prayer? Although we are looking here, actually we should be looking here. Samsara is which prayer? It is. Correct? After that we bow down, yeah, deity greeting, and then we go where? Here? Yes? Correct? Actually most of the people do Guru Puja once a year, But in our case, every day. Something unique. Mostly Guru Puja is done, this Guru Purnima, what is that? Vyasa Puja. Once a year only, Guru Puja. In our case, every day. Every day you do. Why? Again, spiritual master. Correct? Why Prabhupada put like this? Why? If you go to Gaudiya Math, you go in the morning, you know what prayer they chant? What prayer they chant, you know? Vibhavari Sesa. And also the other prayer, what is it? Krishna, what's that song? Another song they chant. Mostly I think Vibhavari Sesa. Huh? They don't chant this samsara. In fact, one of the Gaudiya Math Sannyas, what is this samsara in the morning? Our line is different because Prabhupada understands. You understand? Without the mercy of Guru, forget it. You can pack home and go back. It will not work. Morning samsara, Guru Puja, everything is centered on spiritual master. That is our, a training. Again, particularly in my case, I met, you chant Om Ajnana Timirandasya, all these things, right? Then there's what? Yeah? Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, yeah? And then Hare Krishna, right? Yeah, I made it, you chant Namaste, Namo Om Vishnu. Why in this our eyes can we put that in? Because we have to know that we have to surrender to only one person, and that is Prabhupada. You understand? To reinforce that we need to understand that our life is hanging on the mercy of our spiritual master. There is nothing else. To please him, everything flows. Krishna will then look. Krishna will what? Identify us. But you don't have. I have no objection. You can try whatever you want to do. Nobody is saying no. But I have my reservation. Krishna can do anything, but in my experience, even in ISKCON I see, I was talking to him in the morning. Yeah? If you don't accept Prabhupada, then your spiritual life, you may seem like they are chanting, but their spiritual life is like, standing in one place and moving on legs only. In the military, there is something called what? You stand on one place and you keep marching. You're not going anywhere. What do you call it? So like that, your spiritual life is what? In one place and you're moving, but you're not moving at all. Stagnant. But if you get connected to Prabhupada, then yes, it is, I think yesterday that one Mataji was saying in the class, right? Yes? What was she saying? I cannot imagine these 2 months, how much progress I have made. That was what she saying? I cannot imagine. How, Prabhu, can you tell me more about you? How? I don't know.
Even that Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu from USA also,
They have not met us, just by spiritual life. Because you're connected. You're not connected. How this thing will flow? Forget it. It will not work. You understand? For people who are not connected and have come to connection, then they can see the differences. But of course, if we all are growing up in Prabhupada consciousness, so it's not so much of like a child, you cannot see him grow up. You see him every day. But you don't see him, then you have grown so much, So similarly, spiritual life, when you get that connection, you can see how much you are. Actually they are in tears. When they are talking to us, they are in tears because there's so much changes in their lives. So this is Krishna consciousness. You cannot do away with this point. So therefore, we worship our spiritual master 3 times a day and then see how much you make progress. Inevitable. This is you cannot explain. It's called what? Secret, rahasya. Anything else?
Prabhupada writing, Krishna did not instruct Arjuna until submitted. Arjuna submitted. It's the name of the. He was writing that spiritual purity, spiritual fitness as a result of surrendering to the order of freedom.
Say loudly again.
Spiritual purity and spiritual strength as the result of surrendering to the order of freedom.
Yes. Without that implicit faith, Yashe Deve Parabhakti, again 7:15:45, all that verses.
And that stagnated also Prabhupada said that surrender, purity and strict adherence to Guru's order absent, chanting will bring its effect only after a long time.
Without the Gurus,
without adherence of the Guru's instruction, the chanting will take effect after a long time.
without Guru's instruction.
Without adhering.
Without
adhering.
Without adhering to Guru's instruction, chanting will take long time to fructify. I think it will not fructify. Yeah? So you see how important Prabhupada plays a role in our lives, In fact, Prabhupada was saying, I want to serve you, you are there and I'm a householder, and this is just about 2 weeks before Bhaktisiddhanta left, I want to know how I can serve you. You're surrounded with many of my God brothers, they are always with you. I just want to serve you. See that mood, Prabhupada. Then he wrote, and my dear such and such, if you can preach this in the English language, it will do good to you and do good to the whole world. That was his final instruction just 2 weeks before Bhaktisiddhanta left. And Prabhupada took it so seriously. Yeah? And then because we are sitting here, we didn't do that, forget it. I'll not be a devotee for sure. Yes? That's the mercy. That's why we cannot repay our spiritual master. We cannot repay him. How you can repay him? Not possible. Therefore Prabhupada said there is a duty. You cannot repay, but my instruction is that you please preach this Krishna consciousness. That is his help, spread Krishna consciousness. Is to be focused. Okay? So this is this is the only thing we can do, correct? Make more devotees, make them become Krishna conscious. Yes? You can go and open some temple. Wow, very good. Yeah. Everybody can be trained to do the best. So if you want to just sit okay, comfortably, that's also okay. You're not saying no. But nice. Okay, we stop here. Thank you very much. Gurundara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanandi.